Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Superheroes could often be compared to gods. They inspire us to be better, they are all powerful, they can do and affect the world in ways most beings could not. They are life-changing. Mutants as superheroes could be viewed as gods even more than some of their non-mutant super counterparts, as they are not only loved but equally feared in the Marvelverse. Which honestly I think gods need to be loved and feared. And beyond that, they were born with the capacity for their abilities. I mean, what gods just stumble upon their abilities, am I right? In a sense, they were fated to be powerful from birth. After all, gods don't usually gain abilities in stories so much as they just have them. Today we're going to take a look at some of the mutants who have become or are gods, not just thematically but power level wise, as well as we count down the top 10 mutants who became gods. Number 10. Wolverine. Wolverine has actually gone god mode more than once in the comics, though being as smart and wise as Wolverine is, he has a tendency to shun that kind of power, understanding the great responsibility that comes with it, and not trusting himself to wield such immense power. When Wolverine came into contact and merged with the Crystal of Ultimate Vision, he was granted god-level power and cosmic omniscience. He used his power to defeat Horde, whom the X-Men were fighting at the time, and then used it to return to normal, preferring to just be plain old Logan as opposed to any godlike being. A similar instance occurred when he was imbued with the Phoenix Force and rejected it during some time traveling adventures that he had with Spider-Man. He was like, Phoenix Force, get out of here. I feel like that's really hard to do actually. We should give Wolverine more respect for that, even though he's apparently supposed to be beta level. Number 9. Juggernaut. One could argue that with the powers granted to him by Sidorak, Cain Marko became a god simply when he became the Juggernaut. With the powers given by the gem, Cain was granted an insane level of strength, virtual immortality, and a powerful healing factor. Beyond that, he is also almost completely impervious to exhaustion, and does not need to drink, eat, sleep, or even breathe in order to survive. But if that isn't enough to convince you, he also became a different kind of god in league with the Serpent during the Fear Itself event. Juggernaut was granted his own hammer, which allowed him to become powerful enough to escape the raft and set other prisoners free as well, inciting a mass prison break. He also took on an entire team of the X-Men during this event and overpowered pretty much all of them. Even when they managed to get his helmet off, he resisted Emma Frost's attempts to telepathically control him. So whether we are talking about Cain Marko as Kurth, Breaker of Stone from Fear Itself, or as Juggernaut, he's pretty god level either way. Number 8. Legion. When Legion utilizes the right personas and personalities, he becomes godlike in terms of his powers. While he doesn't do it as often as some other mutants, he actually has the power to reality warp. When Dr. Nemesis and Professor Xavier was helping to cure David of his multiple personality disorder by going into his mind and erasing them from existence, Legion's mind fought back. It created a new persona to protect Legion. This persona was known as X. It adopted the face of Moira McTaggart and was able to warp reality. This new reality that it built was one wherein David Haller was seen as a hero, saving his mind from being tampered with further, and where the X-Men were simply pawns of X's used to create the landscape in which David would be seen this way. It was a pretty cool reality actually, I will say. Number 7. Magneto. Magneto once held a Celestial together while the X-Men aimed to defeat Mr. Sinister. Sinister had taken control of the Celestial's head and was using it and Cyclops' psyche to create an army of Sinister clones to fight the X-Men. Magneto single-handedly kept the Celestial from falling apart as a result of losing its head, using his electromagnetic powers. Beyond his extraordinary control over his power set, one of the things I've always thought that has helped Magneto to achieve god status pretty much all the time in my opinion, as a mutant, is his firm belief that he already is worthy of that title or classification. His ego and his belief in himself and his abilities. It's also part of the reason that I love him as a character, to be honest. Him and Dr. Doom both have this going on as villains. They're very self-assured. In House of X Volume 1, we get a great ego flex moment from Magneto, proving that he sees himself this way. When gathering the visiting ambassadors from all over the world in Jerusalem, they ask why he picked Jerusalem, and he tells them that it was chosen for its symbolism. As with Krakoa and the mutants on the rise, the nations of the world have new gods now. Ooh, I love that moment. Such a good Magneto moment. Number 6. Gambit. In Volume 3 of Gambit's self-titled series out of 1999, we meet New Sun, who we later find out is actually Gambit of alternate Earth in 9921. This version of Gambit, however, has had his full potential unlocked and his powers augmented somewhat with magic. As a result, New Sun eventually reveals that his rise in power led to the devastation of his Earth. His plan is to prevent this from happening to Gambit's Earth of 616 by Well, killing Remy. During the fight between Gambit and New Sun, Gambit taps into the full potential of his powers and manages to overload New Sun with a ton of energy, resulting in New Sun and his Earth's complete destruction. Afterwards, Gambit returned home with an even more profound understanding for just how dangerous his powers really could be if left unchecked. So yeah, not only is he a god in an alternate reality, but he definitely could be God in Earth 616. It just doesn't really want to be. Number 5. Storm. Storm has been referred to as a goddess for many years in the comics, one because she is a queen, but also because people actually believed that she was a goddess. Well, in Black Panther issue 172, Marvel made this title official. In it we see Storm take on the ancient deity known as the Adversary, or alternatively the Great Trickster, Naze, or Sifako, the twice-risen god. And it is during this fight that Storm finally accepts and claims her heritage as a true divine being and goddess. This acceptance grants her the strength to defeat the Adversary and once and for all be proven to be the true goddess we always suspected that she was, and believed that she was, really. Also, this issue is pretty cute. If you're a lover of the Black Panther Storm ship, you should definitely check it out. It's so cute! Even if they sometimes have different opinions on things, they can make it work. Number 4. The Five. The Five are a group of mutants who were elevated to god status through working together in the Dawn of X relaunch. We are first introduced to them as a group in the House of X. On the mutant nation of Krakoa, these 5 mutants, Tempest, Hope Summers, Elixir, Proteus, and Goldballs, now known as Egg, are revered as gods, due to the role that they play in this new mutant world. They are responsible for reviving the population of mutants through bringing back mutants who once perished in the past, and in guaranteeing all the mutants of Krakoa's immortality and safety through means of resurrecting any mutants who die moving forward, which we've already seen them do multiple times. So if you stick together, sometimes you can become a god as a group. God group. Number 3. Apocalypse. If there was any mutant who could be considered a god in their current form, it would definitely be Apocalypse. Sabanur has aspired to become like the ancient Egyptian deities since he was young. His original ability to alter and control his body on a molecular level was enhanced when he interacted with the tech of a celestial ship. As such, he boasts of the power of immortality, enhanced survival and evolutionary abilities via being able to control his own molecular structure, teleportation, telepathy, telekinesis, and a superbly tough and strong physique. Being imbued with celestial energy also allows him to do all sorts of insane stuff when it comes to energy projection and manipulation. Apocalypse's powers have continued to grow as time has progressed, and who knows even how much stronger he will become over time. He may even surpass god level at some point, and then we'll just have to invent another word to even be able to describe how powerful he is. Like, I just think give Apocalypse some time and he's constantly evolving. Number 2. Franklin Richards. Many don't think of Franklin as a mutant because he is so tied to the Fantastic Four, but he is one. In fact, during House of X, Cyclops even reminded the FF that Franklin would be welcome to join his mutant family whenever he so chose in Krakoa. Which honestly, I would love to see happen. Can we see that happen already? I feel like it would give Franklin's character more opportunity to grow and become more independent. Though even while being so intrinsically tied to his family, Franklin definitely has the ability to be independent at any point should he choose. His reality warping powers are on a level to challenge any other mutant or superpowered being with such abilities. Remember when he saved everyone from Onslaught as a little boy by transporting them to a pocket universe of his own creation? Jeez. And we've seen some of the things he can do in the future when he gets older. It's all pretty crazy, to be honest. Number 1. Jean Grey. With Jean Grey's intense connection to the Phoenix Force as its more desired and main squeeze of a host, she is likely one of the most powerful mutants around, and perhaps one of the most powerful beings overall in the entire Marvelverse. Her empathic abilities are what originally drew the Phoenix Force to her. She is able to feel as well as alter other people's emotions using these abilities, though they aren't always written in as being a thing. So sometimes she has empathic abilities, sometimes she doesn't. Still, even without them, Jean has been known to be one of the most powerful telepaths and, more recently, telekinetics to ever exist. There is almost nothing that Jean can't do with her powers, so great is her control over them. And she only gets more powerful every time I feel like someone writes her. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list and that it helped inspire you to pick up a new comic or maybe revisit some of the older X-Men material. Who do you think deserves to be referred to as a god when it comes to the mutants? Are there there any mutants that have been referred to as such, but you feel haven't really earned it? Who would you like to see unlock their full potential when it comes to the full power of their abilities? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Newest X-Men Hookups. John M. Burt 1960 comments, almost 60 years later, the X-Men are still a whole lot like high school kids. Yep. I am going to be honest as well, writing about newer mutant relationships is hard for just such a reason, as it kinda tends in X-Men comics to be the same high school-esque romantic drama on repeat throughout the years. It's the same people constantly being paired up and torn apart, which I must confess I still love that. But it's also nice to see things presented more subtextually in this Dawn of X relaunch. I like when it's more about speculation than full out X-Men just fighting over who gets to date who. It's not as interesting. Matthew Morey says, Jean and Emma have had some playful touches in their giant size. Lol. Just taking that out of context, especially giant size, made me laugh. So Amanda, you seem a little excited by this topic. Yeah, I'm totally excited of the idea of a Jean and Emma ship. They'd be such a power couple, and I've always loved their dynamic. I have always thought it would be cooler to see them link up than watch them fight over Scott. I don't know if they'll ever officially get to be a thing in the comics, because they definitely have their differences, but hey, I can dream, can't I? And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.